Who? You know what I'm talking about? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? It's your partner. Man, what's good with the people, man? How's y'all out there doing on this True Testament Tuesday? Say True Testament Tuesday. What you talking about, bro? We gonna get into it, but before we do that, what's good? People like hee hee ha ha. You know what I'm talking about? Ken in the pen, man. All my comrades, man. All my folks incarcerated. All my folks who ain't, man. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody on the bottom of that thing. Everybody on the bottom and top of that thing, man. Keep that head up. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Did I say Ken in the pen, man? I didn't. Go get that stick up in stores now, man. You go get you some more 76 MacArthur Giants. Look at what I'm talking about. 82nd Hillside Barbershop. They say somebody put them in their stores in the hundreds. Thank you, young man. Now you know, because I tell you every morning, but just in case you don't like me, you don't want nothing to do with me, or you just don't like my channel that much, that's all right. You can still come get them from me, man. You know what I'm talking about? Sprinkler system on you. You know what I'm talking about, man. Also in stores, man. You know what I'm talking about? Funkadelic trying. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure you go get you one, but if all else fails, man, go to Amazon, get you a hardback, man. You know what I'm talking about? Uh-oh, swing that finger, young man. You know what I'm talking about? Worldwide INC. What'd you say, bro? Worldwide Incorporated. What'd you say, bro? Worldwide. You know, somebody gonna say what it means. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? It means everybody. You say, what, bro? Say, hey, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody included. And Dugu, Mike, Lil Rue, not Lil Rue, Lil Rue. Tata the player coming next. You know what I'm talking about? Can't forget about Cutthroat. Just all my folks incarcerated around the world, man. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody on the bottom of that thing, top of that thing. Keep that head up. Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. Let's get through these disclaimers. My mama said, before we do that, mama said breast and whiskers when you on TV, man. And don't never forget about them. Coffee Chronicles, Classic Roast, piping hot. You know what I'm talking about, man. Good brother like myself, man, I don't promote no drug users, no drug sellers, no alcohol consumption. Don't take a sip of the sippers, you know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, I don't promote no crime. Good brother like myself, I don't promote no violence. Good brother like myself, I don't promote no domestic violence. You know what I'm talking about? Keep your hands off the people. People, you know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no negativity. No. Me, man, I don't promote shit. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking about I don't promote shit. All I promote is y'all go ahead, do what you're going to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you find the right thing doing with your time, young ladies and gentlemen, because we just don't know how much of it we got. But a good brother like myself, I ain't prejudiced. Good brother like myself, I ain't got nothing against the sexually different. Good brother like myself, I ain't got nothing against the little people, man. Nah, man, me, man, I ain't got nothing against nobody. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to me. Man, I just love me some everybody. As a matter of fact, I'm on a quest. You know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace. You know what I'm talking about? That joy. You know what I'm talking about? That love. What'd you say, bro? That love. Back to YouTube community, man. You with me? Come on over here, man. Hey, check it out. Hey, check it out. Come fuck with your partner, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. Come fuck with a nigga one time. Man, what's good with the people, man? How is y'all doing on this True Testament Tuesday? They say True Testament Tuesday. What you talking about, bro? We gonna get into it. Coffee Chronicle. You know what I'm talking. Shout out to everybody who ain't no good kisser but good at kissing ass. Let me get some tongue. Yeah, I see. Oh, fuck it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody gonna say, bro, what does that S stand for on your cup? I'm gonna tell you that S right there represents my partner that still owe me $75. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I put it up there, man. So if you watch this video, you can remember and see my $75. I see. Yeah, that S stands for that $75. That nigga, nephew, sis, old man, old lady. Nephew, sis, old man, old lady. Hey, what you say, bro? Old lady. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Pops, man. You know what I'm talking about? I know he had a good day, man. I seen him up there. Pops went to Benny Hanna. You know what I'm talking about? And when I seen that shit, it's crazy how I'm just like that, man. Me and my daughter got the same way. Like, I'm just like that, man. My daughter be doing the same shit I do. And I be doing the same shit Brett do. You know what I'm talking about? No. That shit just hereditary, I guess. But True Testament Tuesday, you say, Brett, what we talking about today? Just True Testament, man. Because that's what we not no more. We not true, bro. We're really felonious, fake as a motherfucker. artificial, all that shit that comes with not being real. We all that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Preservatives, adjectives. You know what I'm talking about? Shit just ain't raw no more. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't. Shit just ain't raw no more. Remember lard? You used to have to put that shit down there and let it melt to the, you know what I'm talking about? Shit ain't raw no more. It ain't, man. It ain't. And that's just people, like I said, man, before, we don't, we boosie. Long story short, we don't be real. Just like how we come tell a story, right? Like I told you, bro. Whatever happened, I'm gonna be able to tell you the shit just like it happened. I'm not gonna be embarrassed if the story didn't fare me well. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, the shit happened. It happened, bro. There ain't nothing you could do about it, bro. You get what I'm saying? That shit just happened. But in today's time, we don't do that. We tell the story to where it benefits us. We tell the story to where you gonna be on our side when we get through telling it. We tell the story and to justify the part that we played in it. You know what I'm talking about? That's what we do. We just don't keep it real. We just don't say what happened. We tell the story in a way to where it's gonna justify the part we played in it. You know what I'm talking about? So really, you don't even be getting what really happened. You just be getting people versions of what happened. I told you that before. You know what I'm talking about? I remember one nigga talking about and that shit was crazy. And this nigga was screaming at the top of his voice for the police. Somehow he left that part out. You feel me? Then nigga took off across the street running like a motherfucker was trying to rob him. Niggas be something straight out of comic books. You know what I'm talking about? But True Testament Tuesday, bruh. It's True Testament Tuesday. Because I'm gonna tell you what y'all why y'all get on my nerves. Y'all get on my nerves for numerous reasons, really. But the thing I noticed about just people in general, especially you motherfuckers is always talking about y'all believe in God and shit and all that. If you believe in God, bruh, why do you be, first of all, y'all give these invisible people too much power. Y'all give these people way too much power. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all sit around, if you believe in God, bruh, why is you sitting around with a nobody ass motherfucker that you don't even know? Going back and forth about what God put you through. You know what I'm talking about? You don't owe nobody no explanation, pimping. You don't, bruh. You don't owe nobody no explanation. Because if you really got faith and you really believe all that shit, anything God done put you do, anything God done put you through, it was to give you an understanding of what was to come in your life. You get what I'm saying? Now, you gonna say you get what I'm saying and all that shit. You gonna say, yeah, show you right. Say that shit and all that. You know how y'all be doing. But do you really believe in that shit, bruh? Because it's easy to, you know how we be reading quotes or you see a video talking about somebody talking real. It's easy for a motherfucker to talk real. That shit easy, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't where the hard part come at. Coffee Chronicles. The hard part is doing real. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga could say anything. The hard part is doing real, being real. You know what I'm talking about? I told you, man, that's why you gonna find out who you is when you got everything in the world and when you ain't got nothing. That's gonna be at the that's when you gonna find who you is, folks. Because when you got everything, how do you treat people? When you don't need nobody for nothing. And when you ain't got nothing, what is you prepared to do to get something? See them two times right there is normally when you find out the real people. When a nigga got everything and when a nigga don't got nothing. Because when niggas don't got nothing, they a panic. They get drastic. You get what I'm saying? All type of shit that start popping up in the motherfucker head. Motherfucker been installed, motherfucker been to set his motherfucking mama house on fire talking about some insurance money or something, bruh. You just get them two times right there, bruh, is It's just gonna show who you really is inside when you don't need nobody and when you ain't got nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Told y'all I seen a nigga kill his partner. Nigga killed my partner, bruh. I don't know what them people condition was, folks, but for that thought to even come in your head, you ain't got nothing now. You plotting on your partner and shit. That shit don't make no sense. That's why it's important for you to be careful who you call your friends. You know what I'm talking about? True Testament Tuesday, folks. But that motherfucker right there just gets on my nerves the most. Because everybody walks around here. This shit became a fad too. That God. That's always been a popular God. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, folks, if you really believe in God, these people out here, the man ain't got nothing for you. If you really believe in God, bruh, man ain't got nothing for you. You know what I'm talking about? What man do should never even bother you. You know what I'm talking about? Because you got faith in something that's above man. I ain't bullshitting with you. True Testament Tuesday, folks. And we run around here and we like to appear like we have faith and we be believing in that shit. But we don't. And you know how you know you don't? Because everything bothers you. Everything somebody says bothers you. It's important to you to get a whole amount of people to see something your way. And I keep telling you, fuck these people. Listen, man, before I find a way to explain myself to you, depending on what it is, you know what I'm talking about, but before I find my way to explain myself to you, I'll find a way for you to kiss my ass. Nigga, something straight out of the comic book. Nephew says, old man, old lady. Nephew says, old man, old lady. What'd you say, bro? Old lady. You know what I'm talking about? True Testament Tuesday, bro. Because it's just way too much. Us in the world, we way too much. Us as people, just regular people, bro. We living in a day where nobody ass motherfucker just feel they have the right to ask you something and you better answer them. Like, like they really got this in y'all head. Like you have to live your life trying to, I don't know if you trying to pacify everybody else or you trying to keep everybody else. I don't know. But they got you living your life to where the point where like you living to explain yourself to everybody. Every move you bust, you gotta somebody else has to be on board with it. You can't just live your life no more. The shit you do has to make sense to other people. Coffee Chronicles. True Testament Tuesday, folks. You better say fuck these people, bruh. On some real shit. If you really got faith in all that shit, bruh, you on the journey God got for you, bruh. These other people shouldn't even matter like that. They shouldn't. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't gonna never get nowhere like that, bruh. You ain't gonna never get nowhere trying to prove yourself to these people. Because it's just gonna be another motherfucker, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? No matter what you do, they gonna criticize you. You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you that, y'all seen that old thing. If you walked on water, niggas would be talking about the only reason that nigga walked on water because he can't swim. They still gonna find something to say about you, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Because they don't. It's just you. That's what irritates people. To see you doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Can I tell you something on this True Testament that'll just burn somebody up? That's why it's good for you to tap into yourself, folks. So you gotta realize motherfuckers know they be around here fake, doing hella fake ass shit. Lazy minded, just all the bullshit they do. And a lot of them is the miserable spirited, right? So you gotta realize, first of all, 78, and I might have misjudged that 78% of people in the world is motherfucking haters, folks. So the thing is, see, when people feel bad about themselves, the next best thing for them is to make you feel bad about you. Coffee Chronicles. That's why it's so important for people, bruh. You see people that run around like they know they fake as shit. So the next important thing is to find a chink in your armor. Because they know they fake. So the next best thing for them, like they watch the crowd. They see who the crowd respects, and that's the next person who will be attacked. Oh, everybody talking about them. They gonna find a chink in his armor because you got to bring them down because you'll never be able to go to their heights because you've already been recognized as the fake and the foul. So the next best thing, the only thing you can do is try to bring them down to your level. You know what I'm talking about? Coffee Chronicles. And let me, nephew, sis, old man, old lady. Nephew, sis, old man, old lady. What'd you say, bro? Old lady. Let me go put some warmth on this thing right here. Be right back. You know what I'm talking about? Piping hot. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, True Testament. Tuesday it is. You feel me? Because we be, us as people, bruh, we childish as fuck. And I don't think we know that, man. I walked up in this motherfucker, you know how your TV just be playing, man. It was on some of that modern day filth, you know what I'm talking about, with you know, that hip hop Hollywood, one of them shows or something. And the bitch sat up there, and I'm gonna tell y'all what we have a problem for doing. Now they got this shit on national TV. I don't even know what they asked that bitch, but that bitch sat up there, she said, "What I look like? I'm grown." I could, and when I said that, that bitch said I'm grown. In the next 5 minutes of shit she said, bro, was little kid shit, straight up off the E. Morse Cox playground, monkey bars, bro. I ain't bullshitting with you, and I said this is the problem because as people, we have a motherfucking deflection. You know when your deflection come, this is what we do. We hella good at just coming up with saying little shit to get out of the motherfucking conversation at hand. We so good for that. You could have just did something. Motherfuckers talk to you. You got 1, 2 little words just deflect because you don't want to deal with the problem at hand. Oh man, I ain't worried about what nobody say. God got me. We'll just say something and we good for using God to get up out of shit that we don't want to deal with at this moment. So a lot of this shit we be doing and running around here saying, bruh, it ain't nothing but a deflection tactic. True Testament Tuesday. Because y'all use a lot of that shit when the motherfuckers addressing you about your conduct. Then all of a sudden we jump into God. We ain't got to worry about nothing. God got us and only God could judge us. And you know what I mean? You ain't worried about it because whatever you did, you'll be judged at heaven. And all that thinking like that. See, a lot of people in the religion like that. You know what I'm talking about? And that's why they into religion. I keep telling y'all, religion ain't nothing but a motherfucking worldly, universal, motherfucking universal rationalization. That's all it is, bruh. For you to get away with anything you want to do. Because no matter what you do, at the end of it, you can say, God gonna forgive me. You could just throw God on top of your fuckery. And everybody gonna have to respect it because that's what it said in the Bible. Because God said forgive. So everybody gonna read that and they just gonna leave you alone. They ain't gonna press the thing because it is in the Bible. We good for shit like that. But that shit that y'all be like a motherfucker be talking to you about your conduct at this moment. And then you could just go, you know what? I don't even want to hear y'all talking about that. I'm not worried about it. God got me. You could just do that every time, bruh, to escape your conduct at this moment. And that's what I be getting tired of, bruh. All them little games and shit. We all could do that, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? You could run right there, bruh, and blow somebody motherfucking head off and come back and say, look, man, I don't want to talk about it. I already went over it with God. We be something straight out of comic book. But we good for shit like that. And you know the other one we good for, I'm grown. And most of the time you hear somebody say that, just like that bitch that was on TV, the moment you hear somebody say I grown, the next thing that finna come out their mouth is childish is a motherfucker, folks. Peep that. Motherfucker gonna say I'm grown. I could say what I wanna say. I could do what I wanna do. There's gonna be some childish ass shit right after a motherfucker say I'm grown. Watch the next shit that come out their mouth following that. Coffee Chronicles. And I've been telling y'all this since I got up here, man. We play too much. We do. I'm gonna jump to this computer shit real quick. Look how you can go live, right? And I don't know if this happens to everybody, but ever since I've been going live, you know what I'm talking about? It's been happening ever since I've been able to go live, right? The first motherfuckers you liable to encounter on that motherfucker, if it ain't one of your real folks coming through there hella quick, you gonna endure about 7 minutes of trolls first. No matter when you go live, you gonna endure about 7 minutes of trolls. And it's like it's not even the trolling part because like I look at that shit deeper than that. The shit it even for you to even want to do the shit that a troll is. You know what I'm talking about? You got whole ways in the beginning. You know what I'm talking about? All that shit is coward shit. You know what I'm talking about? All that shit consists of coward shit. Hiding yourself, talking shit, fucking with people, just interrupting people, being disrespectful. All that shit is like E. Morse Cox playground monkey bar shit. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew says old man, old lady. Nephew says old man, old lady. You know what I'm talking about? Old lady. That's what I said. Yeah, man. And a lot of that shit just be one person. And that's the cold part about it. I told you I was gonna jump to this computer shit real quick. Now just think about it. Half them trolls you be enduring, a lot of that shit be one person, bruh, with 50 accounts. You know what I'm talking about? But they won't stay in the same account because they don't want everybody else to think they paying that much attention to you. So they gotta jump around as other people to try to make you feel like it's really this many motherfuckers fucking with you. That should be one person, bruh, with 50 accounts. You know what I'm talking about? So they can make you feel like it's just different motherfuckers fucking with you. It's the same person, bruh. That's why the trolls come on there and say the same shit. You know what I'm talking about? That's why they come on there, bruh. They be the same conversation. Now watch this. I've been peeped this shit since I first got on here. Watch how the trolls say the same shit, then the real person to pop up and be talking about the shit the trolls said. You niggas something straight out of comic book, bro. You give yourself away. You change your conversation. That should be one person, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? You'll give yourself away, bruh. You fucking with a nigga that got game, folks. That's just like, I don't know if y'all was watching my live when a nigga was jumping on there talking about he was the other nigga, I don't know, talking about a sign combo or some shit. And he was trying to make me seem like I was boosted because I didn't know who that was. But notice how a motherfucker was supposed to be from New York. But he was naming all the Bay Area music. Now I'm sure and the people he was naming, Filthy Rich, Joe Blow, the Jacker, the person they was trying to impersonate, them people wouldn't even know who them people was. You get what I'm saying? You'll tell on yourself, folks. Guess who that was, y'all? Somebody from the Bay Area. Guess who? Y'all something straight out of comic book. But you be sitting there playing with yourself. That's the shit I told you. Y'all be doing that on the computer. I was just talking about this shit yesterday. I seen this shit in real life. You know what that's the equivalent to? That motherfucker who don't like cups on their table, right? But they done went over there and put a cup on their own table and try to blame it on somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't nobody put the cup on the table, but it's driving them so crazy. They put a cup on their own table and then start yelling at the other people like they did it. You know what I'm talking about? Coffee Chronicles. Because that's they trip. True Testament Tuesday. But that's what that's the equivalent to. You know what I'm talking about? But it's just funny on this True Testament how they got y'all communicating like that. They just got y'all popping up somewhere. You don't know nobody from Adam. And the first thing you want to do is be disrespectful and just playing and doing all that kid shit. Like, and I can understand when the kids do it because this is their generation once again. They having fun. That's just like doorbell ditch and knocking on niggas' doors and running and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Turning off niggas' electricity and shit. Throwing rocks at cars on the freeway. That's the equivalent to that shit when you a kid. Now the part I don't get is how they got the grown people doing that shit. I don't get it. I don't get how they got the superstars running around giving you their opinion on real people's lives. And that's what got y'all comfortable doing it. That's why y'all sit around and y'all act like real life is something to debate. Like that's something to put on a talk show. Y'all something straight out of comic book, bruh. This is how you know y'all never been involved in nothing. Because this computer, it'll give you an artificial experience. Because you ain't never been inside the streets. You ain't never been funking or nothing. You ain't never been sitting in the car when niggas come lit that motherfucker up. So you ain't never been through this shit. But you know what you could do? True Testament Tuesday. You could come up here and engage in the conversation about the murders and shit. Then you can give your expert opinion on some shit you ain't never been through and what you would have did and the logical thing. Because everybody, we Monday morning quarterback shit. I told you, we sit here, we look at what happened, we look at the conclusion, what happened, then we come up with the logical decision. You know how easy that is? I keep telling you, you know it's hard being in that same situation before it happened and see what conclusion you come to. It's easy to make an adjustment for something when you already know what happened. If you knew you was finna walk right here and the dog finna come out that fence right there, bruh, it's easy to prepare for that. It's easy. Okay, it's a dog right here. You know what I'm talking about? So you just gonna run real fast or go across the street. You know what I'm talking about? Because you knew that was gonna happen. You didn't know it was a nigga down there across the street with the shotgun. That's what you didn't know. You know what I'm talking about? But you see what you do when you know what I'm talking about, when you encounter that. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's easy to watch that same scene after it happened and just say, man, I wouldn't even walk down that street. Coffee Chronicles. See, it's the prequel that might get you. You know what I'm talking about? See, when you in that situation right there, you make your own conclusion. But what we so good for is judging the conclusion everybody else came to when you ain't even came to that conclusion yet. Coffee Chronicles. And that's what I'm just tired of in this motherfucking world, folks. We do it too much, folks. We disrespect each other too much. We talk about each other too much. Just like I told you yesterday. I see a nigga, because you nerds, y'all love to get in power on this motherfucking computer right here, be getting your little pecans up, gossiping, looking like the bitch with them tight ass clothes on and shit. But it's cool, I get it, you know what I'm talking about? Get your money, nephew. And we good for never being nothing in real life, and we got made up off this computer. So we having pecans right now, because right now y'all just like if you making some kind of money, that just puts you way up here. Your character has nothing to do about it. Just automatic having money automatically puts you on a higher echelon of people in this day's world right here, right? So you little nerds is good for coming up here, Brett, and talking about niggas who maybe didn't been in jail, you know what I'm talking about, might be on child support, just niggas going through nigga shit. Y'all good for coming up here and putting the regular nigga down, the average man down. Y'all good for that, folks. When you sitting up in front of your motherfucking phone, high-tech begging, talking about a cash app, bruh, and you sitting up here criticizing the nigga who really out there in the field. You know what I'm talking about? With his boots on gravel, nigga navigating through this shit we call life. While you sitting up here talking about him, what he doing, nigga, begging for cash apps and shit, bruh. You ain't doing nothing but high-tech begging. So while you trying to put the next nigga down, bruh, you ain't doing nothing but sitting on your ass with your hand out, nigga. Stop comparing shit, folks. True Testament Tuesday. Niggas good for that shit like the hoe, nigga. Just like the hoe. Like how your baby mama come around, nigga, when you with the other bitch. You with your new bitch. Your baby mama coming around steady talking about, I don't know why she want to fuck with you. Nigga don't do nothing but sleep and shit. I bet you he over there eating up all the peanut butter. Nigga, you know what I'm talking about? All that shit right there, bro. That's all niggas do to niggas now. You feel me? Like that, you ever seen a baby mama come around talking about the shit you doing with your new? Like, he ain't never took me there. He must love you and all that old shit right there. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't never got a chance to do that and all that. And y'all be crazy with that shit. Because y'all will actually be looking at people saying shit like that. Oh, they done went there, they done went there. It might have been two things happen, people. One thing, a nigga just might not never wanted to take you nowhere because of your conduct. A nigga didn't feel like your motherfucking mouth when he got out there. Maybe a nigga wanted to enjoy himself. You know what I'm talking about? And the second thing, a nigga might not even been thinking that. You know what I'm talking about? Or the bitch might not have been thinking that. Whoever motherfucker met, you know what I'm talking about? They might just be on some different shit. One or two things happen. But one thing for sure, the only thing that should happen is you shouldn't even be worried about what the fuck a motherfucker doing. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't never understood that part. Why do you gotta sit around and watch what a motherfucker doing now? You could do what you doing now. And the cold part about it, you be doing what you doing now. You still paying attention to the next motherfucker. on this True Testament Tuesday. Because we good for that like a motherfucker, bro. We just connect ourselves to other people, folks. The people don't be wanting to fuck with us or nothing else, bro. We just like a fucking leash. We just, you know what I'm talking about? Connect ourselves to somebody else and just start fucking with them. That shit boozy as a motherfucker, bro. That's low-key stalking. Like, y'all some different kind of fans now. I told you they got y'all dick riding till. They got you like groupies. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Pops. That man made the one way yesterday. You know what I'm talking about? My motherfucking daddy. Real sharp nigga, man. That man ain't never told me nothing wrong. He used to get upset about me for the mentality I had. Because I used to have one of them old lying, think you can get away with everything. I used to be one of them motherfuckers. Always lying, it wasn't me. You know what I'm talking about? Just a kid. That man would not let me get away with that shit, folks. If it was one thing I was going to do around that nigga right there, is be responsible for your motherfucking self. He wasn't going to let me get away with that one. I can get away with a lot of shit, folks. I can get away with drinking and shit. Nigga, I remember one time, my stepmama with her snitching ass. You know what I'm talking about, Glory. I walked in that motherfucker dead drunk, bruh. I was off that Pete Cisco, the first ones. Y'all know which ones I'm talking about. When Cisco was called the liquid crack. Man, I walked in the house stumbling like a motherfucker, man. This bitch over there talking about, I'm talking hella much. You know, when you be on, you talking, I got good spirit. I don't know, I might have been like 13 years old. That bitch was like, he drunk. She was like, The bitch came over there and smelled me. He was like, yeah, you drunk. Look, she told Pops to come over there and smell me. I'm over that motherfucker smelling like Rob in front of heroes, bruh. Pops come over there and smell me. He was like, I can't smell it. Right then, I shut the fuck up and went in there and took my motherfucking shower and went and laid down. I understood the past I got then. I can get away with all that shit right there, folks. True Testament Tuesday. I get away with smoking. I remember at my graduation, nigga. Big George. Brett showed up with a good old bag of that, when 7-1 had that good Arizona. You know what I'm talking about? That shit that looked like the red fence. Look at that shit smoke. It was like neighbor weed, bruh. Coffee Chronicles. Brett showed up with some finger waves with Shirley, the Shirleys in the back of that motherfucker, about 6 Shirleys. You know what I'm talking about? What was that, cross color fitting some Vans, man. Pulled up to the fellas. We went over there to that gym bathroom, man. We blew on one graduating from Frick. I ain't bullshitting with you. Luke Bowman, Sky, Big George, Champ, Pete. We was all up in there, man. Ike, Ryan, Ken, you know what I'm talking about? Roll call. We was all up in there, man. I ain't bullshitting with you. We was high as a motherfucker. I got away with that shit. Derek, Ben, we was all up in that motherfucker. I got away with that shit. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I couldn't get away with? Talking about it wasn't me. About some shit I had did. That man would not let me get away with not being responsible for myself. Shout out Pops. Made the one way. You know what I'm talking about? I only hope I could see that. You know what I'm talking about? On some real shit. Love my daddy, man. You know what I'm talking about? That man made me be responsible for myself. Nah, you don't live like that, bruh. You can't slick your way through life. You can't. And if you think you can, you gonna slick your way into some a hardship. You is. You gonna squeeze right up in there hella quick like you was on oil. You know what I'm talking about? Next thing you know, you're gonna be in a world of trouble. True Testament Tuesday, folks. But just as people, on some real shit, you really gotta have faith. You really gotta believe in that thing they call you. You do, folks. You believing in you is believing in God. Them two is y'all know how I am with my vocabulary. I want to say synonymous, if that's the right word. I was finna fuck around and say anonymous. You know what I'm talking about? I know that wasn't the right word. You know what I'm talking about? But I think it's synonymous. You know what I'm talking about? Together. Believing in you is the same thing as believing in God, bro. Them things run hand in hand, just like God and cleanliness. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't bullshitting with you. Them two things run hand in hand, folks. You gotta have faith. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta stop being out here arguing with man, bro. Especially about some shit that you doing. Because you on your journey, bro. Y'all will let people right here now come up and make you embarrassed of your past, bro. Somebody could come up right now and say, oh, nigga, you didn't say nothing about when you got whooped on 82nd and make you, nigga, this shit happen. What can you say? No, I didn't. Man, I don't give a 30 motherfucking. Listen, bro. You can't be embarrassed about nothing happen. You know what I'm talking about? You got to take your bumps and bruises, bro. Just like the story. If you go out there, man, you fucked around, you was in the fight, you might have fired on 2, 3 motherfuckers, man, and got body slammed. You can't just act like you fired on 2 or 3 motherfuckers. You got to tell them about the time you got body slammed. You can't leave that part out. I mean, you can, but you know what I'm talking about? No, man. What happened is just what happened, folks. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes you win them and still get body slammed, nigga. I told you. We was out there fucking with them essays, man. That nigga turned around and kicked me dead in my nuts with them boots. If Moan wasn't there, man, they would have had me. Shout out Cube. Because after that nigga hit me with them nuts, my nigga Cube came. I don't know who it was. Me and Cube was on both sides. We ran that nigga straight into the license plate. Shout out my nigga Cube from Lacey. You know I ain't lying. That nigga Cube must have seen that nigga kick me in my nuts. Because right after that, man, that same nigga that kicked me in the nuts. Because Moan came out. He was playing Street Fighter. Moan came out throwing a combination, nigga, like boots. You know what I'm talking about? Moan came out. I seen Moan sock up 3 of the motherfuckers hella quick. With combinations. Nigga, this ain't what happened, but if you was just looking at it, it looked like that nigga Moan came out and did like the 3 Stooges, just like he did like this. I ain't bullshit with you. Firepower. Nephew says old man, old lady. Nephew says old man, old lady. What you say, bro? Old lady. You know, nigga, I ain't bullshitting with you. That shit looked like the 3 Stooges, nigga. When I think about it, it looked like Moan Kane ran up off Street Fighter and just came out there and did his hands like this to 3 motherfuckers. But after that nigga kicked me in my nuts, Cube was on one side, that nigga, I was on the other side, that nigga. For some reason, that nigga was still bent down like this, though. It's like we had that nigga by his shirt and his belt buckle the whole time, still checking this nigga pockets and shit. Look, before we ran him into the license plate, we still checking him and shit. Because the whole mission was to lick. Look. True Testament Tuesday. It's like we had this part of that nigga and this belt buckle, man. Me and that nigga Q, we ran that nigga into that motherfucking license plate like he was the battering ram. Bam, man, you know what I'm talking about? That motherfucker sounded like Paul Bunyan stepped on about 30 Coke cans. You know what I'm talking about? That shit was hella funny. But I tell you, we ain't even getting no money, man. I think Rick got that money to this day. I ain't bullshitting with you. Because Rick, I seen him kicking and beating up a few Mexicans. Then I turned around and Rick was gone. I ain't bullshitting with you. By the time we got through, that was the first time I seen because you know every time something happened, you be the one that end up running down 75th. Talking about Rev, that was the first time I seen the Mexicans run down 75th. Nigga, they had the helicopter. That was a cold day right there, bro. That shit was hella funny. We sat out there and got into a motherfucking Royal Rumble with some SAs for nothing. I'm telling you, I think Rick got that money, though. They had loaf on them. I don't know where that motherfucker was at. I don't know where that motherfucker was at. It was about 6 of them motherfuckers. I don't know who had the loaf. I'm telling you, man. They counted people out about 3,400 though. I ain't bullshitting with you. I told you that was the day we was at the bus stop. It started off with like 3 people. Before they came out, that motherfucker, it was about 16 motherfuckers right there. Everybody just seen that look like, oh shit. It was niggas out there on bikes. It was a hell of a combination, bro. It was niggas from everywhere, West Oakland, North Oakland. You know what I'm talking about? From that bus stop waiting for their ass to come on up out of there. That nigga Rick, he threw the first blow though. Because Rick was the first one. Rick the one who seen him. We seen Rick. It was just Rick at first. That's how you know Rick was on something else. He must have had to pay something or something because he was finna take on 6 motherfuckers by himself. He needed some money. I ain't bullshitting with you because at first it was just Rick. He was already on him. He didn't even ask nobody to help. Everybody piled up. True Testament Tuesday. That shit was hella funny, bro. Them was the days, though. You know what I'm talking about? They called the helicopter. The essays took off down Sandy Field. For real. You know what I'm talking about? They was gone. But yeah, man. True Testament Tuesday, man. In the end, it all tie in, bruh. Like, on some real shit, we be A1 out of pocket. We do. Because we not responsible for ourselves, folks. We just out here, bruh. Just like I said, we be talking about God. We be acting like we got faith. Then you sitting here trying to prove a point to man. You know what I'm talking about? We sitting up here trying to be like y'all trying to be God over man. Y'all want to dictate what man do. Y'all want to be the famous one so everybody could come up and kiss you. You want royalty treatment. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't know. You ain't never got that in real life for real. And that's that'd be a big part of it. Just how many motherfuckers ain't really never ever been nobody in this they only chance to get some eyes on them. That be having a lot to do with it. But it just be all that shit. And a lot of y'all just not good people. You spiteful. You one of them lying motherfuckers. You one of them fake motherfuckers that's always pointing at the next motherfucker trying to make them as fake as you. Cause you know what irritates a motherfucker like that? That's why you can't be embarrassed, bruh. You can't. That's what just burns a motherfucker up. Because people sit back, I'm telling you, and they see how other people treat you, and that irritates them because they be the fake one. You know what I'm talking about? They don't get no respect and shit like that. Everybody see them for what they is. So they spend all their time trying to get you to seem fake to the people, folks. I ain't bullshitting with you. Because what irritates a motherfucker is when they, because people do shit to you that will bother them. So when they can't embarrass you or they can't bring something up and that shit don't bother you, oh, that just burns a motherfucker up inside. I am not bullshitting with you. When you don't care, like when you don't, nigga, you could have not nothing in the world, bruh, but your head's still up, you still got that good spirit, that bothers motherfuckers, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Because they sitting there wondering why you not sad and fucked up, because if they had the same problem as you, they would be, you know what I'm talking about? That's why people do shit to you that would make them mad. That's why they try to ruin your name with gossip. That's why they try to start the rumors. That's why they try to start the slander. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what bothered them. Because motherfuckers run around this motherfucker thinking about what people think about them. Nigga, something straight out of comic book, bro. Whatever you think about me, I'm finna go to sleep if God say the same, and I'm finna wake up me. That's what the fuck I'm finna do. I don't know about you. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't even finna fall asleep yourself. Before you went to sleep, you was a mixture. Nigga, you was a mixture between Kevin Samuels and Love Dorsey. You gonna wake up a hybrid. God damn. God damn. They say, "Well, why you fuck with it like that?" Because if I don't, ain't nobody else here. Dang. Nephew says, old man, old lady. Nephew says, old man, old lady. Hey, what'd you say, bro? Old lady. I ain't bullshit with you, bro. True Testament Tuesday, man. Nigga, something straight out of comic book, folks. You is, man. But the two things you gotta have is a belief in you and God. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all always talking about that. Y'all is, bruh. You always talking about God, but you running around here basically under the command of man. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what God you serving. But you want to tell everybody else how they should be serving them. You know what I'm talking about? Mama say breast and whiskers when you're on TV. Coffee Chronicles. I ain't bullshitting with you, folks. And we got that too bad on this True Testament Tuesday. We got, because all you really want to do as a person, the people who is like this, I ain't talking about everybody, you know what I'm talking about? And if you got common sense, you will understand that. You want to control everybody else. Oh, we got a knack for that on the Underdome. We want to come around and we want to be the big dog. We want to be the big wig. We want to be able to tell everybody else what they could do. You know what I'm talking about? Because when we come around, we try to force everybody into doing what we want them to do. You know what I'm talking about? You got that motherfucker and you got the motherfucker who just come around and follow what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? But for the most part, people, they just, they want to be able to tell you what you could do, where you could go, what you could say. You know what I'm talking about? You shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. They want to tell you what to do. You get what I'm saying? I told you, it's just like the old school game, Operation. They want to play Operation with you. You know what I'm talking about? But when it comes to themselves, you know what I'm talking about? They touching the side of that motherfucker, man. They touching the side of that motherfucker, man. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't bullshitting with you. And I'm finna get up out of here real riding this motherfucker, man. It's your partner, man, light-skinned DB Stalk. You know what I'm talking about? What they say? Still talking about this game. I'm finna go check out this lineup on this All-Star game real quick. You know what I'm talking about? Getting traffic, you know, before it get too hot. It's supposed to rain today. But on this True Testament, bro, all you really got to do is watch yourself and be yourself, folks. That's and this is just for the people who be reading that Bible and believe in God and shit. Now, they say he created you in his own image, bro. All you ever got to do is just be yourself, bro. That's where your blessings are going to come from. You know what I'm talking about? All this trying to impress other people and do what other people do, bro. You going to get stuck in somebody else, bro. You know what I'm talking about? And once again, ain't no telling if they got a blessing or a punishment coming. You know what I'm talking about? Be yourself. That's all you got to do, folks. Just be yourself and don't give a fuck about it. You ain't got to apologize to nobody about being you, bro. God gave you your own soul, folks. You get to do with it what you want to. You know what I'm talking about? Even if you do that fuck shit, go right ahead, see where it gets you. You know what I'm talking about? But just be your motherfucking self, bro. That's the easiest thing. You put too much pressure on yourself trying to be somebody else, trying to uphold the image, man, that shit costs too much, folks. Fuck around and get high blood pressure, stressing, trying to be somebody else, man. Just be yourself. Kick on back, man. Calm, cool, collective, man. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nothing wrong with being you. That's why it's good to be you. You know what I'm talking about? To believe in who you is. That's why it's good when you looking at that mirror, bruh, you could accept what you looking at, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Because there's too many motherfuckers looking in that motherfucker and they don't like what they see, folks. They don't. From the niggas to the bitches. That's why y'all trying to alter yourself right now. You know what I'm talking about? You embarrassed of what God gave you. And somewhere in that Bible, that got to be a sin. But what do I know? Only you could prevent forest fires, man. And with that one right there, if you don't remember nothing else, always remember, it don't cost nothing. Just to show a little bit of that.